This is a powerful verse for Independence Day. Throughout the entirety of Psalm 27, David is declaring his independence from fear, his independence from crushing thoughts, or his independence from his enemies. I urge you to examine yourself and see if you are in need of improvement in your own life. And when you do, break the chains that bind you and claim that independence boldly. And into verse of the day we go. Verse of the day is Psalm. There, that's where I want it. And we're going to turn off the music. Verse of the day is Psalms chapter 27, verse 1. The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? The Lord is the stronghold of my life. Of whom shall I be afraid? Well, one of the things that we have to do is we got to look in the context of the verse. Many times the Bible is used as a spiritual grab bag where we take little verses, little snippets, and is like, hey, this is nice. But as Christian Ninja puts it, and as my grandfather, who was actually a preacher, puts it, you always have to look in the verse in context, especially if you have one that starts with therefore or for. As Christian Ninja puts it, you have to find what the therefore is there for. So, the Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? The Lord is the stronghold of my life. Of whom shall I be afraid? When evildoers assail me to eat up my flesh, my adversaries and foes, it is they who stumble and fall. Though an army encamp against me, my heart shall not fear. Though war arise against me, yet I will be confident. You will have the trades. Thanks, trombone. Though an army encamp against me, my heart shall not fear. Though war arise against me, yet I will be confident. One thing have I asked of the Lord, that I will seek after, that I may dwell in the house of the Lord all the days of my life, to gaze upon the beauty of the Lord, and to inquire in his temple. For he will hide me in his shelter in the day of trouble. He will conceal me under the cover of his tent. He will lift me high upon a rock. And now my head shall be lifted up above my enemies all around me. And I will offer in his tent sacrifices with shouts of joy. I will sing and make melody to the Lord. Hear, O Lord, when I cry aloud. Be gracious to me and answer me. You have said, seek my face. My heart says to you, your face, Lord, do I seek. Hide not your face from me. Turn not your servant away in anger. O you who have been my help, cast me not off, forsake me not, O God of my salvation. For my father and my mother have forsaken me, but the Lord will take me in. Teach me your way, O Lord, and lead me on a level path because of my enemies. Give me not up to the will of my adversaries, for false witnesses have risen against me, and they breathe out violence. I believe that I shall look upon the goodness of the Lord in the land of the living. Wait for the Lord. Be strong and let your heart take courage. Wait for the Lord. What'd you miss? Well, my internet went out. You got 500 points from that race. I figured it out. I had to go through CloudBot to do it. And you missed the beginning of the devotional. We are currently looking at Psalms chapter 27. And I just read the psalm of I just read Psalm 27, but we're going to go into a deep dive here, I pretty much cover most of the verses. So you haven't missed much. You won't be able to catch up on it. All right, Johnny. All right. So Psalms 27 is another psalm by David, possibly written during one of his more troubling times in his life. However, Psalm 27 is a psalm of victory. He cries out, "The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear?" This reminds me of the verse in Romans chapter 8, verse 31 to be exact. What then shall we say in response to these things? If God is for us, who can be against us? David actually believes this so much he follows with, "The Lord is the stronghold of my life. Of whom shall I be afraid?" Such powerful statements. Knowing that the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords has got our backs in every situation is empowering and humbling at the same time. Verse 2. When evildoers assail me to eat up my flesh, my adversaries and foes, it is they who stumble and fall. When those with wickedness in their heart, those that wish me harm, or those that want to treat me with hatred, come against me to bring me low, they will fail. This confidence continues in verse 3. Though an army encamp against me, my heart shall not fear. Though war arise against me, yet I will be confident. David, standing strong in his faith, is saying, "Come against me with all you got. I'm going to stand firm in my faith. I will stand unmovable and unwavering in diversity and hardship because the Lord is the stronghold of my life." David is building his image, his identity, on his faith in the Lord. He builds it up to the point that it's not just a solid foundation, but an unshakable fortress. He doesn't have to worry. He doesn't have to stress because that fortress is his refuge. Verse 4. One thing I have asked of the Lord, that I will seek after. I believe I'm emphasizing the correct word here. David is saying, I've asked God for one thing and one thing only. It's that one thing that I'm going to strive for. That one thing is that I may dwell in the house of the Lord all of the days of my life, to gaze upon the beauty of the Lord and inquire in his temple. He says, Lord, the only thing that I'm asking you is that I can dwell in your presence as long as I live. That one thing that David asked for was to be close to God. He asked to always be within the Lord's presence all the days of his life. The desire of his heart. Yeah, that one thing. That I may dwell in the house of the Lord all the days of my life. Oh, yeah, you got me messed up here. The desire of his heart is to always be able to see the beautiful majesty and splendor that is the love and grace of God. To be able to come to him and seek an audience with him no matter what the circumstances. Verse 5. For he will hide me in his shelter in the day of trouble. Here David is saying that the Lord will comfort him when this life gets hard. The Lord will be his refuge when troubles of this life come against him. He will conceal me under the cover of his tent. He will lift me high upon a rock. The confidence that David shows here is just awe-inspiring. He's essentially saying that when things get rough, I can go to the Lord and he will comfort me. He will strengthen me. He will fold his wings around me and protect me from the troubles of this life. When I'm weary and downtrodden, the Lord is going to lift me up on the rock that only he can supply through faith in him. In verse 6, David's confidence continues to grow. And now my head shall be lifted up above my enemies all around me. Those that gather against me to try to bring me down. Those that want to destroy my spirit with slandering words and hateful speech. I'm going to be lifted up above the toxicity. And I will offer in his tent sacrifices with shouts of joy. I will sing and make melody to the Lord. In the middle of a group of enemies wishing him harm or trying to break his spirit, he will be lifted out of the muck. David will be lifted out of the muck, and he is going to be shouting praises to the Lord for doing so. Verses 7 through 10 are kind of blocked together. So I'm really just going to go into all of them, and I'm going to do a little bit of paraphrasing here. So, verse 7 through 10, please, Lord, David cries out, hear me when I call to you. Please be gracious to me and hear my prayer. You, O God, have said, seek my face. My heart says, yes, Lord, I will seek your face. Please don't hide your face from me or turn your servant away in anger. If there is anything that stands in the way of me standing in your presence, God, forgive me and wash me clean. For you have been my help, my strength, my shelter in trying times. Do not cast me away. Please don't leave me in my troubles, for you are the hope that is my salvation. You have saved me from my own imperfections and troubles. Even if my own mother and father turn me away, even if my own flesh and blood cast me aside, I know the Lord will continue to comfort me. Verses 11 through 12. Teach me the path that I need to walk. Teach me to walk in that path of righteousness. Teach me to keep a cool head even in the face of adversity. Beardy! Hey man, thanks for the follow. I appreciate it. We are actually doing our verse of the day. And I don't have alerts. Oh, see, it went away. Alerts are actually turned off for the verse of the day. So you didn't get to hear the fact that you're a dreamer and you're not the only one. So I was in verses 1 through 12. Teach me the path that I need to walk. Teach me how to walk in the path of righteousness. Beardy, if you want to follow along, we are in Psalms chapter 27, verses 11 through 12. I'm kind of paraphrasing what it says here. Teach me to keep a cool head even in the face of adversity. Please don't give me up to those who wish to do me harm. They say lies with every word they speak, and it is seething hatred. Don't let me fall to their level. And especially with my fellow Christian streamers, and I'm sure that some of you do stuff on YouTube as well. One of the reasons why, because I started doing YouTube content back in 2009. I did an apologetic YouTube channel. It was called The Modern Apostle. And I ended up getting so many toxic comments, and it just got overwhelming. So I ended up stopping. And that's kind of where this is coming from. It's, on YouTube, sometimes on Twitch, just online in general, there is toxicity because there's plenty of anonymity. You're behind a username, and some people use that anonymity to troll. So we need to keep a level head in the face of that adversity, keep a level head in the face of that trolling, so that we can continue to show the love that only God can give, the love that Jesus Christ has given us, the love that Jesus Christ showed of the sinners. Jesus said, "Come to me, all ye who are weary and heavy laden, and I will give you rest." He didn't say, come to me only these people, or come to me only these people. He said, come to me all. So as Christian streamers and as Christian content creators, that is what we need to do, is we need to accept everybody for who they are. Even though I know sometimes it can be a little hard because there are a lot of conflicting beliefs out there. But it's our responsibility to just love on them and let them know that they're not alone, that we're here to build them up and we're here to encourage them. Jumping back into it, verses 13 through 14, and this is the end of it. I believe I shall gaze upon the splendor of the Lord, even here in the land of the living. Even while I still draw breath, God, I will see your glory. Be patient while the Lord comes to you. Let the Lord be your strength. Let your heart be filled with the Lord's courage. Be patient and wait on the Lord, for he will work in his own time. In conclusion, I want to say this. This is a powerful verse for Independence Day. Throughout the entirety of Psalm 27, David is declaring his independence from fear, his independence from crushing thoughts, or his independence from his enemies. I urge you to examine yourself and see if you are in need of improvement in your own life. And when you do, break the chains that bind you and claim that independence boldly. Let me go ahead and close this stream in prayer. Thank you. Thank you so much, Lord Jesus. It is things like this that humble me to my absolute core. You have you've put so many people in front of me. You've put so many people that have helped me. And one of the things that I had prayed to you about is, if this be what you wanted me to do, then I pray that you would begin to open doors. The first thing you did, I went to church, and you gave Pastor Tyner the message that God has set before you an open door. It's only your own insecurity and self-doubt that's standing in the way. And that message in itself was absolutely powerful, especially considering the fact that I had just asked you to begin to open doors. The fact that in 2 weeks' time, we've gone from 17 to 52 followers. That is 52 lives that I can interact with, and that I can shower with the love of God. And I thank you from the bottom of my heart. I praise you. For yours be the honor and glory forever and ever and ever. And everybody says, amen. I don't know if you're praying with me, but I can't see anything, or I can't see if you're praying with me or not, but I'm going to keep my fingers crossed and hope that you are. Once again, guys, thank you so much for stopping by.